Mhm.
Hi, everyone. This is James Patrick and Florence Carmela. We wanted to give you an update on the Diddy situation. A lot of things that have been occurring and a lot of stirring online. Florence, why don't you give us a little take on what's going on with all the chatter on social media?
Well, the big discussion has been since Diddy got arrested and now he's in jail, they won't give him bail. They've tried twice. Who is he going to be taking down with him? That has been the big chatter. What celebrities are going to be named? And according to TMZ, in a article they put out today, there are letters that are going to be going out to some celebrities, and they're saying some of these celebrities are going to have to pay the price, whatever price that is, for attending a Diddy party and whatever was going on at those parties. Another thing they've been discussing is Jay-Z and Beyonce. And how much does Jay-Z know? And he's distancing himself from the situation. And if you listen to Jaguar Wright, she's saying Jay-Z is actually worse than Diddy and that Beyonce as well could be implicated. Now, of course, nobody knows the truth. Nobody knows for sure. This is just people, talking. And social media is, I hate to say it, but sometimes a cesspool. But when you have stories like this, true crime stories, you never know. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Now, let's get right into it with some of my stuff. Tony Buzbee is the lawyer for all of the people that are all the 21, I believe, plaintiffs in the trial going after Diddy. He literally says he not only wants the people that did all these nefarious things, he wants anyone that was there and saw it. He thinks they're complicit. He says you saw crimes and you did nothing about it. It's amazing because if he does that, how many that they have there will be beyond me. Now, just because they're at a Diddy party doesn't mean they're all, I see all these political people. This person was there. This person was there. There was pretty much half of America was there. If you had money, you went to a Diddy party, but there's levels. They had kids early, and then after that, they had adults. And about 12 or 1 o'clock, people left. Everyone knew you better get out of here. So I don't think that just because you went doesn't mean you're a nasty person. You did all these things, but you may have known. And I think this is the problem with politics. Democrats, Republicans, athletes, they do things, and as long as no one says anything, or as long as they're cool with them, they don't say anything. How many times has there been situations with athletes where they've done things, or look at Bill Cosby? Everyone knew the people were making jokes about it and no one said anything.
A big Hollywood secret, but it was a secret everybody knew.
Yeah. Now, this is the thing. I've been listening to, now all of a sudden you got Brittany from Orange County, who's 20 years old, talking about Gene Deal. Gene Deal has been freaking saying these things for decades. Keefe D explained how the murder of Tupac went. He even put where people were sitting. And the feds now all of a sudden came up. We talked about it before. What happened last July, at the end of July? Diageo situation with the vodka. He went after them. Diddy said, you're racist. You're doing all these horrible things. The other made him a lot of money. In fact, they came out and said they made him over $1 billion in less than 2 decades. And he had the gall to do that. You don't mess with a corporation like that. All of a sudden, a month and a half later, all this stuff starts stirring up. 2 months, more stuff, more. Cassie comes out. I'm telling you that. And Gene Deal agrees that, and we talked about that a long time ago. You don't tick off people like this. And Diddy did. He thought he was bigger than that. And he sued him, I believe, for $1 billion, which was ridiculous. They said, okay, dude, you're done. We're done with you. And then all of this stuff starts coming up. Now, Summer said he's going to go away for life. He's going to get this. What does he know? There are people that he know. Does he know politicians? Does he know big time athletes? LeBron James bragged, and those things have been taken off the internet, but on YouTube, he has tons of videos. If you ain't gone to a Diddy party, you ain't gone to a party, all this other stuff.
There's no party like a Diddy party.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
But there's a lot of people, and if he has people that are huge that will literally destroy an entity like a career of someone that big, and not that LeBron did anything, but I'm saying if there's a huge person or huge people, huge corporations that have a lot of dirt on him that he has dirt on, I bet you he gets 5 to 10 years. If he has nobody or people that are kind of in his way, he's not going to do anything. I mean, he's going to be done for 20, 30, probably the rest of his life. So it's what he knows and who he knows it about. Remember with the JFK, well, some of you don't remember yesterday. So anyway, for JFK, for some of us that are into history, John F. Kennedy, when he was killed, there were people that were on the grassy knoll that were literally near him, never questioned. Never. How could you not be questioned in the biggest assassination in the history of our country is on television, and you don't call all the witnesses? And this guy's literally, he's doing interviews with TV stations and they don't call him. Don't ask him a thing. Gene Deal has never been asked by the feds. They've never said, here's a guy that was there all the time. When Notorious B.I.G. got murdered, he even said, I ran over there to get on the side of the SUV, and Diddy told me no. He said, if you do, you're fired. Isn't that kind of weird? You don't want to protect the guy? Allegedly, but there's a lot of dirt. Do I think Diddy was involved in all this stuff with Tupac and Notorious B.I.G.? Yes, he was nothing. He didn't have a lot of money until all those guys were eliminated. And then all of a sudden, he's a multi-millionaire. I think that this is purely going to be, what does he know? Who does he have? And if he doesn't have anybody, the first thing I would have done if I was Diddy, I would have given people, for 4 or 5 people that I trusted, ride or die. And I would tell the feds, if I don't stay real safe, this is going to get released, not to American press, because it's as crooked as could be. It's going to go to foreign press. I'm sending it to the UK. I'm sending it to BBC, to Spain, to Germany, to Russia. I'm everybody. And I am going to spill the beans on all this stuff. And I'm going to have names, videotape, because he has the videotapes. I'm telling you, I better stay real healthy. Do I think he's going to get, something's going to happen to him? To be honest with you, I don't think not much is going to happen to him unless someone literally wants to make a name for himself. Tupac kind of went through that too, where people were just kind of looking to get him. It's sick what they did. This is nothing new. I had a friend that was a, what do they call it? A maitre d', whatever it is, in New York, up in Manhattan. And the story she told me would make your head spin. Unbelievable, pervy stories about politicians from both sides, athletes, sick. So be careful who you worship. Be careful who you stand. No one's clean in this. And Hollywood loves their secrets. And again, some of you are saying Democrat. No, it's Republicans too. It's Democrats, it's Republicans, it's everybody. Because when you get that wealthy, you kind of feel you're above the law. And at times you are. If this were in LA, I don't know what would happen, to be honest with you, because LA has a history of letting celebrities off easy. But New York is different. That precinct, that it's not a precinct, but that FBI situation, I think they had a 98.6 conviction rate. So it's amazing. So I don't know, Florence, that's my take. What do you think is Diddy safe in jail or not?
Well, I was going to say, social media also, that's been a big discussion since he was arrested and put in jail. Is he going to be Jeffrey Epstein? And also some of the other information. I listen to Nancy Grace. I watch her religiously. He's not eating in jail. Is he coming off of drugs? Is that why he lost his appetite? Or is he refusing to eat because he thinks he's going to be poisoned? And again, these are all allegations. This is alleged. And people on social media have been discussing this as well. Also, Kim Porter's book, the kids have come out and said, this is not a book. My mother did not write this, but yet this was a book she was working on, allegedly, and she knew everything. I mean, she was afraid, I guess, for her life and started collecting information and just knows a lot, just like Tupac and other people. Apparently, the other rumors going around is Tupac's mother, Tupac's family, believes he had a lot to do with what happened to him, to Tupac. And now they want to have an investigation, and they want it looked into. And I can imagine Biggie's mom feels the same way. So again, social media is all abuzz about this, and I just find it really interesting. I think the Kim Porter stuff is very interesting. And she even said it, this is going to upset my children.
Yeah,
but it needs to be said.
When Tupac's mom passed away, there was a lot of worry and sadness over that because she never got the justice that she really wanted. So hopefully, Miss Wallace, some people will say, well, they were friends. They weren't that good of friends. So they were friends at one time. Tupac was more of a friend to Biggie. And a lot of people just had a weirdness with Puffy at the start. He was just
kind of knew about him.
Narcissistic, just so for him. And Gene Deal said he was with Biggie, and Biggie showed him a contract that he was given. He was going to get $250,000. Biggie was going to get $250,000. Now, from a ghetto kid, that's amazing. But from an all-time rapper that was coming up, he knew he was getting screwed, so he was going to make his own deal, his own record label. He was going to do his own thing. He would have made tens of millions of dollars. Tupac was going to do the same thing. He didn't like what was going on with Suge Knight. Now, Suge Knight says, no, Tupac was happy. He was getting tons of pay. But Tupac wanted to do movies. He wanted to do production of movies. He wanted to do acting. He wanted to do everything. He was growing an empire. And these guys made more money for Puppy gone than when he was here. So Gene Deal's fascinating. Last thing, Lady Gaga did a video that's going around the internet, and it's been around for a while, but it's starting to get more and more play. She talked about going to a Diddy party, and they literally told her, girl, strip. And she said, what? And they said, take off your clothes. And she said, no. And she left. And she said she was scared. She was in fear. This is the kind of intimidation that you have when you go to these things. I mean, it's to get along, you go along. And Americans, I mean, we never grow up. I mean, it's like high school. Oh my God, if every kid's doing this drug, you got to do it because you got to be in. And when you're an adult, when Diddy says you come to party, you go. And what did the great Cat Williams say? You got to say no.
You got to tell Diddy
no. You got to tell Diddy no.
And what was really sad also in the press conferences, because they have been coming out and the legal teams have been talking, and apparently there were over 120 victims that are all being represented by the same law firm, and that there were victims as young as 9 years old. That to me is so sad. And I hope it's more than 5 to 10 years. Even though he's usually right about these things, James is usually on the mark. I know a lot of people feel the way that I do.
Now, some of you will say I'm crazy, but do you remember John Gotti's hitman, Sammy the Bull Gravano? Guy, I believe, admitted to 24 murders. They had him, he did it. He got in witness protection and then got out. He barely did any time compared to what he had done. He ruined his family because they saw the despicable things, but there's a guy that literally 24 murders. There's a lot of people, and our courts are lazy. How many times do they plea bargain to save a buck, even though they know a guy did something? It drives me nuts. You murder someone, you get away with it because you plea deal for 8 years. Our science teacher was murdered. He was shot dozens of times. I'll never forget it. I was in high school, and the murderer got 30 years. It was despicable. I don't want to talk about it a little bit, but I'm sharing it for you guys. But he got 30 years and a college degree. Another one from my old church killed a kid. I mean, it was amazing. He shot her. It was one of the first school shootings, and he shot her, killed her because she didn't want to date him. She died, and he got 20 years. So at 38 years old, I believe, he had a bachelor's degree and was out and got to live the rest of his life. Yeah. Anybody think that's fair? If you kill someone, you go away forever. Christians say, well, you're not a Christian, you want the death penalty. I'm sorry. That's me. I would rather have the death penalty. But I'm telling you right now, guys, this is going to get deeper than anyone ever thinks. If they truly say all the people that are involved with this, there's no one safe.
They're saying celebrities right now are really, really worried. And according to the lawyer, TMZ, like I said, they put out this article. The lawyer said letters are going out and there are celebrities who are going down with him. He's not going to go down alone. That's what they're saying,
Yep.
allegedly. And then the other quick thing I just wanted to mention, compared to these other situations you were talking about, they're saying the sex trafficking across state lines with minors, the racketeering charges is what is going to put him in prison. I'm not sure about that, but that's what they're saying.
Now, Gene Deal said that he has been approached. Now, he said the way that they're doing it is he has ride or die guys that are handling his business. They're communicating with people, allegedly. All this is alleged. But they're communicating with people that are close to the situation to see if they'll talk. There's already people supposedly that are being bought off as we speak. Now, money talks. Let's say you make $50,000 a year and someone comes up and says, I'll give you $500,000 and change your life, or $1 million, change your life if you go away. I don't know a lot of people that would turn it down. So, but Gene says the way he's doing it, because it's obviously against the law to tamper with potential witnesses, but he's having people of his people contact, and if they're open to talking, then he hooks them up with those people to talk to. So this is crazy. We'll keep you abreast on it, you guys, but just creepy that things like this can happen. But
it's really sad.
You know,
Very sad.
But like I said, Kat told us, when Diddy calls you to party,
you've got to tell Diddy no.
Take care, guys. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.